All right, another weekly update.
What's up? We're back.
How was the week?
Yeah, not bad, actually.
Not bad?
Not bad.
Okay.
It was a roller coaster, I would say.
That's a good description.
Up and down. We had some small defeats this week, I will say.
Well, I think it started with a small win. Is that right?
Yes, that was this week.
So
that was this week.
I think it was Monday.
Yeah.
Basically, we landed another client on Monday.
Yes.
An interesting client, a smaller client, I would say, but
Yeah.
any client, I guess, is good at this point.
At this point, yeah.
And then what was it? Let's see, it was like was it yesterday?
Yes.
So yesterday we got back from the gym.
Yep.
We were getting ready.
Yep.
And then we saw an email.
Yeah, basically we got an email and we opened it and it was a client that was like, we're gonna stop. We're gonna pause our subscription. And it was hard because this is probably our biggest client. So yeah, that sucked for sure. But we powered through it that day, I think, pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mindfuck because we got the email like 10, 15 minutes before our first meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, luckily it was with our team member.
Yeah.
But we got through it. You powered through. Good job.
Thank you.
But I could say, at least for myself, I was distracted.
Yes, same.
I think you were too.
Same.
So anyway, we'll take that as a learning experience.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Kind of to balance that out, we have a soft close, kind of like someone kind of committed. We have the invoice ready, but it's not going to charge for 2 weeks. So we'll see. We never celebrate until actually the first payment hits. So.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was a good learning lesson, I think, for us. It's always good for us, I think, to have this experience of losing a client in a way, because it forces us to really reconsider what we're doing and not get complacent. Granted, I would hope that in the future we're not like as, we don't need as big of an event for us to get kicked back into gear. Yeah. But I do think it was good in the fact that it made us really reevaluate like what we're doing, why we're doing it, are we going in the right direction? And I think it allowed us to make some decisions that I don't think we would have made if it weren't for this situation. So
something I'm very proud about this week is I think this is our first full week, or maybe first and a half week of working 7.5 hours every day.
Yep.
And I think it's getting easier. So we're still on, it's been almost 2 weeks since we've on this wake up at 5, gym at 6 schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it.
Same.
McDonald's. Sponsor us, please. I'm loving it.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, so, and along those lines, actually last weekend we worked more than usual.
Yeah.
Because we were coming back from Cape Town, and also we're going on a trip next week. So we're like, we should just use this weekend to just like settle in and, get a lot of stuff done and get, keep the momentum going. Yeah. So that was a good thing I really enjoyed, and hopefully we'll meet it today, but we'll see.
I think we will.
Yeah, this week was actually big on sales. So you want to talk about some updates on sales?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So to give everyone, if you haven't already watched some of our other videos, context, we used to be the only kind of salespeople of our business. We would make like literally hundreds of cold calls ourselves. We never had an auto dialer. We would just copy paste the numbers. And now finally we're at a place where we get to build up a sales team. So we're actually hiring 2 cold callers. Hopefully they both accept. And we just purchased the auto dialer from Kixie. So
shout out Kixie.
Shout out Kixie. Hopefully, with having, 2 cold callers, an auto dialer and more of a system in terms of like how we're tracking, how we're, doing quality control with the recordings. I think it's like at the very beginning of like a of curve,
Yeah, we'll see. Like with anything in business, we've learned that we have to like test things out.
Oh yeah,
and so
for sure.
Our thought was at the time, it'd take Kayla and I 2 hours each, so total 4 hours to call 100. Right?
Yes, yeah.
And right now with an auto dialer, that can be done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And our rough math is like basically it took us 1,000 calls to get 10 sales meetings, and from those get 1 client. So roughly 1,000 calls per 1 client. Yeah. So in theory, once we get all these systems up and running, we'll be able to 10x that. So buying back our time is, I guess, what Hormozy would say.
Absolutely. It was something that like came into my mind too, was like, I was watching this video earlier this week about measurement and how important it is in business. And one of the things that the speaker had talked about was like, if I'm seeing a hole in my business, I will just start throwing money at it, basically. And I think that's kind of my mentality towards this sales situation, because this is the thing that will generate us revenue. And if we're not throwing money at it, it's like, well, what are we doing? So if we didn't have the situation with the last client this week, I am not sure we would have hired both cold callers. But I think that made us go like, okay, we need to like really get back on the horse and get going. So.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see how that sales process goes. Another small thing, we like to keep up with some fellow entrepreneurs along the way. We did like a coffee hour with one of our clients.
Oh,
so we're gonna try to like,
cool.
it's not an hour, but we're at the end of like our weekly meetings with some clients, we're gonna like ask them questions about their entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
But shout out Mercedes. We met with her. We try to meet with her once a month, so that was a cool little catch-up thing.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Another cool thing we did last night, if you want to talk about.
Yeah.
You talk about this one. And
I'll talk about the first one. So we have a little bit more extra time now because our team is amazing and they're taking care of a lot of the heavier topics, and it leaves us have some more time to reflect on the business. So yesterday I put together a whole list of literally every single task or area or thing that we do for Growwise, our business. And that list was long. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And it was really good, I think, for me personally to see like the context and the scope, because like I'm kind of in the weeds more day to day. He's very like big picture, thinks of everything. So it was good for me to like see that kind of thing and re-acknowledge like, yeah, there's a lot going on.
And at least for me too, like I really appreciate when like friends and family give comments of like what to do. And now I kind of see this with Chris and Paula when we're like, you should do this, but you really don't know because there's a lot going on. Yeah. And it's more like, okay, yeah, we can make that website update, or like, have you tried this? Yeah, we can do that. But by the way, all this other shit is going on. Like, this is not as important as the other things. Even though people might think, oh, if you just did this, you'd do better. Like, yeah, maybe. But
it's I feel like what we've learned in business is that we have so much shit to do that will make us better. There's a million things, you know, small little things that will make us better. But like you always say to me, time and place, like the priority of when to do those things, because they all are important, but there's only 2 of us in our team. So.
And in the spirit of growing, something I felt like we need to do a better job at after reading Cash Flow Quadrant last week. The ideal of financial independence, because it's one thing to get to like whatever, $1 million or $2 million or $10 million, but really what's important is when you get to a point where you have passive income from assets, not from your regular active cash flow. So I basically made a spreadsheet of like, okay, how much do we want to live comfortably every month? Then what is that per year? And then what is the number after taxes to that? And then what is the gains that we need on an annual basis in an investment to get that money? And then what's the actual before tax like lump sum we need for that? So that was like the first step of the spreadsheet. And then the next step, it's like, okay, so we need this much money to retire or be financially free and still build a business without worrying about cash. And then break that up into the plans, right? Like, so how do we get there from this year, next year, and the year after that? So we're still in the middle of building that part, but I think it was good little like goal setting and trying to kind of carve out a path.
Yeah, I think it's something that we kind of did abstractly here and there, but I think you putting that together last night was like, whoa, we still have like a ways to go. But it was kind of refreshing to see like, okay, we have come this far in this last year, and you know, it's our first year, not even really, and it kind of, for me, solidified like, okay, we need to do these things now moving forward.
Another thing I want to start documenting is like, we do this every week where we carve out like 15 to 30 minutes every day to watch YouTube videos for different categories every week. And so this week we were focusing on electrolytes, and I'll let you talk about the next one. But we try to incorporate like a self-development one, like health. In this case, I've been hearing a lot about electrolytes. So I was like, are these actually a thing? So I wanted to learn like, what are they? How are they good? What you should do? And surprisingly, after a week of research, I think it's kind of inconclusive, and well, not inconclusive, but more like, I don't think they're actually necessary to like buy electrolytes as long as you incorporate it into your diet and maybe put a pinch of salt. So anyway, we learned about that, and another thing we're doing is...
so in April, we're actually going to go to a conference here in Vegas. It's called WealthCon.
Shout out Ryan Pineda.
Shout out. And John, the salesperson that helps close us. And basically what we've been doing, because we haven't gone to a conference in a long time, is trying to prep basically what we're going to say, who we need to talk to. We've been building our business card and been practicing our elevator pitch. So we basically are trying to get everything aligned before we go, so that hopefully we can get some more customers and make some great connections.
All right, and then one more thing I want to include was like what we're currently reading. So last week I finished Cash Flow Quadrant, and this week it's all about deep work. I like the Hormozy analogy of the magnifying glass. For the first 30 years of my life, I was like, I'm a multitasker. This is best. I'm the best thing ever. But I guess you really understand the power of like just focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I'm kind of learning more and more in reading this.
Can you talk about the magnifying glass a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
more?
yeah. So like the joke is like kids would like take a magnifying glass and like burn an ant by focusing the sun rays through the magnifying glass and burning the ant, and they wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't focus the rays. So
Yeah.
that's basically the analogy of like deep work, is like just focus most of your attention on one or a few things and not multitask on a lot of things.
Yeah. What's been your favorite part of the book so far?
Nothing actually, because I'm only 10%
Okay.
in, and it's actually not as
Yeah.
engaging as I thought it was going to be. So we'll see.
That's so
I got
funny.
90% left to go.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
What are you reading?
Yeah, I'm reading The Compound Effect. This is a book you've already read.
it's right there.
It's right here. Darren
Yeah.
Hardy.
Yep.
This book is basically about how good habits or bad habits will compound over your life and change you into a different person. And before meeting Gregory and before starting the business, I can't say I was the most disciplined in terms of doing the same thing every single day towards a benefit. So this book was a really good reminder of like, okay, yes, I don't really want to run today, but I probably should, because if I run today and next week and the week after and the week after and the week after, it's like that will compound into me being a healthier person, more disciplined, even if right now I don't want to do it. The book is a little repetitive. Ironically, it's like compounding the message, I guess, in different ways across the book. So that's the only thing I'd kind of say works against it in a weird way. But overall, it's a good reminder for, I think, someone like me.
So in summary, next week, we are going on a trip.
Yes.
Kind of bittersweet in a way. Like, it's good to always find time to relax, recuperate. So yeah, in the spirit of momentum, it is kind of sad that we're gonna have to like come out of momentum and go back. But you should take this as an opportunity to test our systems.
Yeah.
As Chris said, like, it's good if you can leave your business and it operates without you. Mm-hmm. And the next level is Kiyosaki says, you have a good business if you can leave and it grows without you. But I don't think we're there yet.
No, I don't think so either. But it'll be a good first run. See how we do, and then I think it'll open up some holes that maybe we didn't know about that we can fix and get better when we come back.
All right. So maybe next time you see us, we'll be in our other location. But if not, we'll give you guys an update next week.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Don't forget to
like,
subscribe,
and hit that bell notification.
ding.
See you next week.
Peace.